They don't talk about it out there. But the truth is that not everyone is prepared to wake up. There are people who live their whole lives without noticing the signs. But some, the chosen ones, begin to feel something different. A pain that has no physical origin. A shiver that has no wind. An anguish that appears in silence. And all of this starts in the body, before the mind even understands it. It's as if something bigger is calling. And the call, oh, it doesn't have a pause button. You feel a weight on your back that no one explains, you wake up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, you start to move away from people without understanding why. This is not random. It is your soul in training. It is the spiritual body signaling that your vibration is changing. These are symptoms of spiritual ascension, and if you're going through it, it's because something big is coming. Spiritual transformation begins when the body speaks, and only the attentive listen. Get ready, because in this content you will discover 3 physical symptoms that only the chosen ones feel before ascension. And I assure you, once you understand this, you will never ignore what you feel. Have you ever felt this calling? Have you ever noticed that your body is trying to tell you something? If so, comment below the number 7, just so I know that you are waking up to this. Before the mind picks up, the body is already attuned to other frequencies. It is as if the spiritual body works as an ultra-sensitive antenna, which captures invisible signals well before reason understands what is happening. A spiritual shiver that comes without warning, or an energetic pain that takes you by surprise, may be just the first warning that you are entering a new cycle of spiritual transformation. And as strange as it may seem, these symptoms of awakening are common in those who are crossing this invisible threshold of reality. It's when you're sitting quietly and, out of nowhere, a tingling takes over your arm, a strange pressure invades the back of your neck, or that feeling of internal warmth begins to radiate without explanation. These physical signs of spiritual awakening are not mere coincidences. They are clues from soul training, indicating that something greater is trying to communicate with you. Ever seen old radio trying to tune into a station? This is how your body acts when your spiritual frequency begins to align with higher levels of consciousness. And you know that moment when you feel a strong energy in seemingly neutral places? It can be an expanding chakra trying to adapt to a new high vibration. Therefore, we often feel pain in specific regions of the body, such as the solar plexus or the forehead. The spiritual body is in full fine-tuning. The tip here is simple: don't ignore these sensations. Practice inner listening, meditate, breathe deeply, and notice how your body responds to silence. Another common symptom in this process is spiritual goosebumps out of context, that sudden chill that runs down your spine for no apparent reason. This happens when there is a sudden change in the energy field around you. It could be a spiritual presence, an unconscious memory being activated, or even the opening of a higher field of perception. This type of experience, as subtle as it may seem, is part of the symptoms of spiritual ascension that many try to rationalize, but few actually understand. Finally, remember, the body senses the invisible before any logic sets in. It warns, signals, responds, all before you even connect the dots. And it is precisely in this mysterious territory, between feeling and understanding, that the real journey of spiritual transformation begins. And if the body feels before, does it also carry invisible burdens that are not its own? Have you ever woken up feeling like you've carried the world on your back in your sleep? That's that. This strange tiredness, which not even the best rest can solve, often has no physical origin. It is the spiritual body taking on the energetic cleansing of old patterns, inherited karmas, and emotions that are not even its own. When we talk about symptoms of spiritual ascension, this kind of exhaustion is one of the first physical signs of the spiritual awakening that the universe sends. And look, he's insistent. This weight on the shoulders, this pressure on the back, is not just wrong posture or excessive tasks. In many cases, it is accumulated energetic pain, begging to be acknowledged. People who are energetically sensitive, and maybe you're one of them, work like sponges. They unintentionally absorb what's around them. This includes emotions from others, tensions from the environment, and even memories that are coming to the surface to be purified. And the body responds, of course, with symptoms of awakening. If you feel this recurring heaviness, try a simple ritual of release. Before going to sleep, take a deep breath, mentalize a golden light passing through your shoulders and down your back. Say out loud, or mentally, I give back what is not mine with love and light. It sounds silly, but it's powerful. The spiritual body understands symbolic language, and when you take a stand, the energy begins to realign. This is part of soul training, learning to protect your field and keep your spiritual frequency high. Don't be surprised if along with this weight comes a feeling of sadness without explanation, or even that famous crying for no reason. Often, release comes in layers. First the body warns, then the emotion flows. This is where true spiritual transformation begins. And the more you allow yourself to feel, the lighter you find. That feeling of carrying the world gives way to a new state of presence and perception. And between us, have you ever noticed that the more you grow spiritually, the more your body demands silence, pauses, and withdrawal from certain people? This is not isolation, it is vibrational selection. The body feels it before, remember? And when it's in adjustment, even a simple touch can feel like an earthquake. But calm down, because the next symptom will mess with your internal temperature, and it has nothing to do with fever. Out of nowhere, a wave of heat takes over the body, as if someone had turned on an invisible heater right in the center of the chest. Minutes later, a spiritual shiver runs down his spine, even without wind, without cold, without any logical explanation. No, you're not going crazy. This is your spiritual body responding to a new energetic alignment. These awakening symptoms are common in those who are tuning to higher frequencies. It is as if the body is trying to equalize its vibration with something greater. During practices such as meditation, deep prayers, or even at random moments of introspection, these thermal sensations arise. They don't ask for permission. A sudden heat, followed by a slight shiver or chills. These are all physical signs of spiritual awakening. It is your chakra expanding, making room for more light, more awareness, more clarity. And when that happens, the only thing you can do is welcome, not fight against it, just allow. A practical tip for these moments: put your feet on the ground, literally. Connect with the earth. Imagine that this excessive heat is being released by you, as steam that rises while the excess is drained. Do this exercise especially before bed or when you are in crowded places, because at these times your spiritual frequency can change more easily. The energetic pain, in this case, does not hurt. But it burns, heats up, chills. It's as if your body is being upgraded from the inside. And, let's face it, spiritual updating is not as smooth as updating an app on your cell phone. Sometimes, the heat can come at night, wake you up for no apparent reason, and you are there, sweating, with your heart beating faster. This is not anxiety. It could be your energy field processing information that your mind has not yet understood. These symptoms of spiritual ascension are real, and the more attention you give to them, the clearer everything becomes. Curious how the body warns so accurately, right? When you least expect it, it triggers an invisible alarm, either by heat, or by cold, or by both at the same time. And that, without a doubt, is just the beginning. Because when the body begins to reject what no longer vibrates with this new energy, well, then it gets even more interesting. Suddenly, that favorite dish starts to cause nausea. The smell of certain places bothers you. The presence of some people, which was once neutral, now becomes suffocating. It's not freshness, it's energetic sensitivity emerging. the spiritual body begins to reject all that is no longer in tune with its new spiritual frequency. It's as if your internal system is screaming, "Hey, this doesn't serve me anymore." This can happen with industrialized foods, noisy environments, or even shallow conversations. Energy pain, in these cases, comes as physical discomfort, nausea, headache, sudden power outage. It's your body saying no to what was once okay. And it takes courage to listen to these signals, because they require change. And change, let's face it, is not always comfortable, but it is liberating. Want a practical example? If, when entering a place, you feel chest tightness, dizziness, or slight distress, pay attention. This could be a sign that your spiritual body is trying to protect itself. Go out, breathe, drink water, touch a plant. All of this helps to clear the frequency and recalibrate your energy field. The secret is to learn to listen to yourself. The body does not lie, it anticipates. Another strong sign is when the palate changes. Suddenly, meat, alcohol, or sugar start to cause reactions that didn't exist before. It is the expanding chakra acting, purifying your system. The closer you get to more subtle vibrational states, the more your body moves away from dense elements. These waking symptoms are like a map, and if you follow the signs, you'll find a vitality you've never known before. Of course, not everyone understands this. Some will call you weird, too sensitive, Nachariba. But the truth is that those who are going through spiritual transformation feel in their skin, literally, that something has changed. And changing inside, it is natural that sleep also begins to act differently. Because when the soul wants to wake you up, there is no pillow to hold. Waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. may seem like just a nuisance, until this starts to happen frequently and for no apparent reason. But this time, known to many as the spiritual time, is not random. It is a true energetic portal, where the veil between the worlds thins, and your spiritual body becomes more receptive. These awakenings are symptoms of awakening, physical signs of spiritual awakening that indicate that something within you is being activated. You get out of bed, look at the ceiling, feel the dense silence of dawn, and something inside you pulsates. It can be a sense of presence, an inexplicable urge to cry or meditate. This is the call of soul training. And instead of fighting this insomnia, the invitation here is, embrace this moment. Light a candle, write in a notebook, be silent. Sometimes, it is in this interval that important messages arrive. Some people report that they have powerful insights in this period. Others, who feel as if they are being prepared for something. It is the spiritual frequency adjusting, making room for new ideas, sensations and understandings to enter. Insomnia, in this case, is not the enemy. It is an ally of your spiritual transformation. The body is telling you, stop, listen, something's coming. And when you listen, everything starts to make more sense. The feeling of tiredness the next day may even hit, but you will notice that something has changed. Maybe more clarity in decisions, more lightness in emotions, or even more courage to change what has been holding you back. These moments are like spiritual downloads. If your body insists on waking you up, maybe it's because your soul has something to give you. And ignoring this is like turning off your phone in the middle of an important update. And then, the body starts vibrating differently. Heartbeats that accelerate, slight tremors, that impression that there is something moving inside. And that's when the next symptom appears, right in the center of your chest. Do you know when the heart races out of nowhere, for no apparent reason? Or that feeling that there is something vibrating inside your chest, like a silent drum? Well, this is also one of the symptoms of awakening. The heart chakra, the center of love and spiritual connection, goes into the process of expansion during spiritual transformation. And the body responds. with tremors, accelerated beats and a vibration that looks more like a signal from the universe saying, "You're ready." It is common for these sensations to come during moments of introspection, prayer, or even in the minutes before bed. The spiritual frequency rises, and the spiritual body begins to realign the old energies with the new ones. It's as if you're receiving a subtle but intense charge of energy. And all this without needing external stimulus. You just need to be available, and the body starts to pulse. Many people, without understanding, rush to the hospital thinking they are having an anxiety crisis. And of course, it's always good to check. But when the exams show nothing and the sensations continue, perhaps what is happening is not physical, but energetic. The expanding chakra is making way for new layers of consciousness, and this can manifest as mild palpitations or tremors in the limbs. Yes, awakening can literally shake you. At these times, taking a deep breath, putting your hand on your heart and mentalizing golden light helps a lot. Imagine your heart opening up like a flower, receiving light, love, and clarity. This simple practice can calm the vibration and help your spiritual body adjust. After all, each symptom of awakening is accompanied by a lesson, and the more you welcome it, the easier it is to move through these stages lightly. But what about when this vibration starts to come out of the chest and spreads throughout the body? When it seems that your soul is a little out of touch with reality? There we are facing another sign, which can be even deeper. There are days when the person feels as if they are not completely there. The body is present, but the mind seems to float, as if part of it were outside the body, observing everything from above. This is more common than one might think among those who are undergoing spiritual transformation. This feeling of disconnection, referred to by many as mild dissociation, is actually a sign that the spiritual body is expanding beyond the limits of the physical. It is one of the most confusing symptoms of awakening, because it messes with the perception of reality. During these moments, it can feel like everything is in slow motion, or that you're living a daydream. It is your energetic system trying to align with new vibrations. And no, you're not going crazy. On the contrary, you're becoming more sensitive, more open, more connected. The spiritual body stretches, expands, and the feeling of no longer fitting in the physical body is often inevitable. Breathe. Allow yourself to just observe, without judging. This disengagement can happen at random times, but it also arises during deep meditation practices, prayers, or even in the middle of an intense conversation. The soul is in motion, traversing subtle layers of reality. To anchor again, it is worth using simple techniques. Touch your feet to the ground, take a cold shower, gently squeeze your hands. These are small gestures that warn the body that it is still the safe haven of the expanding soul. And the most curious? Sometimes this feeling is accompanied by a sudden emotional emptiness, as if something old has gone away, but nothing new had arrived yet. This is the dark night of the soul lurking, that intermediate space between what is gone and what has not yet been revealed. A cosmic pause where the training of the soul intensifies, silently. The body feels, reacts, adapts, even if the mind does not yet understand what is happening. And when does this nameless emotion begin to take shape in tears? When crying comes out of nowhere, without trigger, without explanation. Oh. There we are facing another deep stage of this vibrational journey. You're fine, apparently. The day goes normally, without drama, without triggers. And suddenly, the tears just fall. No clear reason, no warning. This is more common than it seems among those who are experiencing the symptoms of awakening. This cry for no reason is the soul venting through the body. It's not sadness. It is liberation. They are old emotions, forgotten memories, energetic pain stuck for a long time, finally having space to go out. When this happens, it is a gift in disguise. The spiritual body, at this point, is like a dam breaking, and the dammed water is the accumulated energetic pain of lives, cycles, traumas, and patterns that no longer make sense. And crying is the most direct channel of release that exists. Do not try to hold on. Let it come. Because each tear carries spiritual frequency. Yes, even tears vibrate. They speak, cleanse, heal. It's the body doing its silent work. Have you ever noticed that after these inexplicable cries, something inside you changes? A strange relief, a subtle lightness, as if you had taken a bath inside. It is the expanding chakra working. The soul is training you to release what no longer serves without having to rationalize everything. And the more you allow that flow, the more space you create for the new. Spiritual transformation is done like this, by feeling, not by logic. If you want to help with this process, write it. Grab a piece of paper and simply start dropping words, as if you were talking to your soul. Listen to music that touches you deeply. Go to a place of nature, even if it is a small garden. Every gesture that helps the body express itself also accelerates the release. Because at this point in the journey, resisting only slows down the flow. The secret is to welcome. And when the pain manifests itself physically, in specific points of the body, such as a twinge, a pressure, or a stab that appears and disappears, well, that's another message from your spiritual system. And it comes straight from the source. A pain that appears out of nowhere, without twisting, without effort, without medical logic. A stab in the knee, a pressure in the chest, a tension in the shoulders that does not go away with massage. When the physical body starts to hurt for no clear reason, it's time to pay attention. This energetic pain is one of the most important symptoms of awakening. It marks the moment when healing begins. It's as if the body says, "Hey, here's something stuck. Are we going to release it?" Pain does not come to punish. She comes to reveal. Often, she points out blockages in the chakras, old emotional traumas, unresolved situations that were pushed under the rug. The spiritual body knows exactly where the knot is, and it warns you. That's why certain pains come, stay for days, and suddenly disappear out of nowhere. When the spiritual frequency changes, that which was hidden comes to the surface. And then disappears. Simple as that. Want a practical example? A constant tightness in the chest can indicate a heart chakra trying to open up after years of emotional repression. Stomach pain, on the other hand, can point to poorly digested old hurts. Spiritual transformation passes through the body, and each symptom is a map. Learning to listen to it is like having a GPS for the soul. And the more you listen, the more fluid the process gets. Pain is only the arrow, not fate. If you feel this type of pain, try practices such as self-massage, guided meditation focused on healing, or even the use of crystals on the painful spots. But above all, notice what this pain reminds you of. What emotion does it carry? What memory does it bring? Because every energetic pain is a reminder of something that needs to be seen, felt, and let go. And that's beautiful, even if uncomfortable. And when you start to open up to these signs, something changes. Even without proof, even without knowing how to explain, you start to feel it. Deep down, you know, something is about to change. Something is calling you to the next level. There is a moment when you feel it, but you don't know how to explain it. Something is changing, you don't know what or why, but you feel it in your body. A slight restlessness, as if a new version of you were trying to emerge. This is one of the most subtle but powerful symptoms of awakening. The spiritual body perceives before the mind understands. It's as if your essence is pulling you forward, while logic tries to keep you where you are. This kind of realization can come as sharp intuition, spiritual goosebumps when hearing certain words, or even that, "I don't know why, but I don't want this anymore, that comes out of nowhere. And there is no rational argument that wins. Because the body already knows. The energy field has already caught on. Spiritual transformation begins to shape your behavior, your choices, even your thoughts, all without you forcing it. You simply, seedling. It's as if life starts to push you with subtlety. Certain doors close on their own. Some people walk away, and others arrive with a clear purpose. All of this is because your spiritual frequency is rising, and the universe responds. The body, like a faithful antenna, guides you in this process, through the physical signs of spiritual awakening, through pain, through dreams, through synchronicities. It's not magic. It is vibrational adjustment. And the most curious thing is that the more you trust this feeling, the faster everything flows. Fear gives way to clarity. Doubt becomes action. You start following what you feel, not what you say. And this, my friend, is the beginning of true freedom. The body speaks. The guiding soul. And when the two are in tune, there is no way to go wrong. Because awakening cannot be explained. He lives himself. If you've come this far, it's not by chance. The soul does not make a mistake. Write "I've woken up" in the comments if you felt this call, and share this video with those who need to understand that the body already knows what the mind is still learning. And speaking of living, now that you know all these physical symptoms of ascension, how about finding out how they manifest only in the chosen ones? Now that you know these symptoms, it's impossible to pretend that nothing is happening, right? The body is screaming what the soul whispers. And if you've made it this far, it's because you know, deep down, that something bigger is trying to emerge within you. But the question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Will you go on with life as if nothing is changing, or will you face this spiritual transformation that has already begun? These signs, crying for no reason, spiritual shivering, energetic pain, are not weakness. They are power. They are proof that your soul is in training, your spiritual body is expanding, and your vibration is rising. Now it's up to you, will you ignore it or will you act? Will you wait for everything to fall into place on its own, or will you take the first step with awareness? Comment below the word "I woke up" if you felt that this content spoke directly to you. Tell me too, which of these symptoms moved you the most? I want to read you. And of course, if you want to continue learning about the mysteries of awakening, the soul and spiritual frequency, subscribe here to the channel and activate notifications. There's a lot more to come, and you won't want to miss it.